the QST YouTube channel. Today I'll be explaining the term 2 week 7 math CA quiz. Let's go. Which of the following is equal to tan x plus secant x is equal to 1 minus sin x? So let's start cross multiplying. Tan x times 1 is tan. Secant times 1 is secant, or 1 over cosine. I'll just keep it that way. Wait, sorry, so I didn't. Tan plus, and then tan times negative sine. So let's remind ourselves, what is tan? Tan is sine over cosine. Times sine would make it sine squared over cosine. So then it's negative, so minus sine squared over cosine plus, now we're gonna start with secant. So secant x times 1 is equal to 1 over cosine and then secant minus sine x. So secant is 1 over cosine times negative sine. And then, as we said before, tan is equal to sine over cosine. So 1 over cosine times negative sine would just be negative tan. So minus tan here, and then tan and negative tan will cancel out. And then we'll just add 1. And then since it's minus sine squared, so 1 minus sine squared over cosine. Now let's remember the identity. Sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. So what is 1 minus sine squared? 1 minus sine squared should be equal to cosine squared. So cosine squared over cosine should be equal to cosine. As simple as that. And that's the right answer. Number 2. Which of the following is equal to sine x plus 3 sine x? Now, for this one, we have a rule that we started taking recently, which is from sum to product. Okay, and the rule is, here we have sine A plus sine B is equal to 2 sine A plus B over 2 times 2 cosine A minus B over 2. Okay, so let's start with the rule. So 2 times sine 3x plus x over 2 is 2x times 2 cosine 1 minus 3 over 2. Wait, right? Oh, my bad, it's not 2 here, sorry. So 1, wait, just remove this. 1 minus 3 over 2 is negative x. Now see here, cosine x is equal to cosine negative x. So if we simplify, since we can have nothing negative inside, like cosine, like just for this question, simplifying means that we cannot have a negative. So it's 2 sine 2x times cosine x. Number 3. Which of the following is true? Select the two answers. Now for this rule, it's just memorization. 1 plus tan squared is equal to secant squared. And for the other rule, this rule here, so sine a plus b is equal to sine a cosine b plus sine b cosine a. And that's why we picked this one and this one as well. Number 4. The diagram below shows the graphs of y is equal to 2 sine theta and y is equal to theta minus 90 in a certain interval. Now look, let's just like get the table of a normal sine graph. Period for sine is 2 pi. Quarter of a period would be pi over 2. By the way, when I'm saying normal sine graph, I'm saying sine x. Sine ax, it can be like anything. Sine ax. So we're gonna go make the table. We start from 0, then pi over 2, which is 90. I'll just go with pi over 2 and so on to make things easier. Pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. Right? Okay. So this will be, wait, pi over 2, and then here it will be pi. I forgot to add pi. And then 3 pi over 2. I won't count 2 pi because it's unnecessary. So here we're gonna start with 0, a, 0, negative a, 0. This should be memorized. And look, as we can see here, we start from 0. Then we it's actually clear that like 2 sine theta is the one we're looking for, because how can I say this, that it's more stretched, like my bad, compressed, because here you see when I mean stretched, which is why it's 2 theta, but it does not affect x, it only affects y. Then the sine theta minus 90, as you can see, I'll get to why I'm about to say that it's shifted left. Okay, so 0 a, 0 negative a, so that should be for the brown or black graph in this case. And when a is 0 in here, k is 180, k being x. That's good. So, and then what we could do is for part B. Okay, I'm gonna, you could do sine 2 theta on the calculator. Sine 2x sine 2x is equal to sine theta minus 90. Sine 2x is equal to sine theta minus 90. And that is going to give you two solutions, right? And the two solutions being 270 plus 360k, and 90 plus 360k. Now I think I'm gonna saying you could do that, or there is another way. By saying that these two are equal, this means that we need to find out the number of intersections, right? So it intersects here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then by using either one of these, right, we could figure out the largest. But here they're saying from negative 270 to 270. And let's say if we substitute k by 0, because we can't substitute k by 1 in either case, so we can just substitute k by 0. This will be 270, but this will be 90, so 270 is the way. That's how we solve question number 4. Now we move on to question 5. Given an angle in the second quadrant such that tan is equal to negative 2, then cosine is equal to k over radical 5 and sine is equal to m over radical 5. Okay, so this question is actually quite interesting, and there's a really fun way to solve it that most people won't learn till like grade 12. So tan theta is equal to negative 2. Tan is equal to, what is tan equal to? Opposite over adjacent, right? So the opposite should be negative 2 and the adjacent should be 1, so we can get opposite over adjacent. Or it could be the other way around, but they said that we are in the second quadrant, so all students take calculus. Since we're in the second quadrant, which is here, that means the opposite is positive, so the adjacent is the one that's negative. So it's 2 over negative 1. Now let's draw this. The opposite is vertical, adjacent is horizontal. So here we have negative 1 and 2. How do we get the hypotenuse, you may ask? We just do the Pythagorean theorem and we get the hypotenuse to be radical 5. Okay, the rest should be smooth sailing from here. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. This is the angle, by the way. So negative 1 over radical 5. And then sine is m over radical 5. Opposite, which is 2 over radical 5. Done. That's it for question 5. It's a really simple question. I hope you guys understood it. Number 6. If cosine is equal to negative 12 over 13, between x is 180 and x is 270. Now this is an interesting question. So between 180 and 270, all students, don't forget this, all the students take calculus. When I mean t, I mean tan is positive. So, and they're saying here both, so they're saying here cosine x is equal to negative 12 over 13. So of course cosine would be negative. But what in this case would be negative? That's what many people would ask. But normally only the adjacent or the only the adjacent or the opposite can be negative. Everything else is positive. So now let's draw the triangle here. So cosine, so this should be negative 12. This is 13, the hypotenuse. And then how do we find this side? Again, Pythagorean theorem, you get 5. And here they want sine, so what we're gonna do, oh yeah, right, sine is negative, in this case it's the tan quadrant. So, like, so both the opposite and the adjacent will be negative, so when we find tan, negative over negative will give you a positive, right? And then for sine, we're gonna do opposite over a hypotenuse, so negative 5 over 13 is sine. But read the question, guys. They said 26 sine x, so 26 times negative 5 over 13 is equal to negative 10. That's it. Number 7. In ascending order, the solutions for the equation 6 minus 4 sine squared x is equal to 5. This question, we're gonna take the 5 to the other side. We're gonna get 1 minus 4 sine squared. And then you know what this means, right? We're going to do a squared minus b squared. So we're gonna get 1 minus 2 sine times 1 plus 2 sine. So this would mean if we just isolate sine, we would get that sine is equal to half. I'll just write the solutions all the way to the right. So and then you plug this into the calculator. Sine x is equal to half, and that will give you two answers. Now sine theta sine x is equal to sine 180 minus x, right? Okay, just to get that out of the way, here we're going to get 30 plus 360k. And then we're gonna do the same thing for here. We're going to get sine is equal to negative half. You're also going to get two solutions. You're going to get 330 and 210. But wait, I just forgot to add 150. 150 plus 360k. Now see, 210 is basically, how do I say it? Honestly, was to mention that sine negative sine x is equal to sine x plus 180. So how did we get 210 and 330? We just added 180 to these two. So 210 plus 360k and 330 plus 360k. And if we substitute by 0, it will get us out of the domain, so we're just gonna put these four answers. So that's it for number 7. Let's move on to number 8. Okay, so this is my hardest question in my opinion. Given that x is equal to 2 is the solution of the equation x cubed minus x squared minus 14x plus 24. Now here what we can do to find all of the other solutions, we are gonna use mod 5 4. We're gonna put x cubed minus x squared minus 14x plus 24 is equal to 0. That will give us 3 solutions, right? We're going to get x is equal to 3, x is equal to negative 4, x is equal to 2. And then let's read part B. To the nearest degree, the solutions of the equation tan cubed x minus tan squared x minus 14 tan x plus 24 is equal to 0 is equal to. So now what we can simply do here, we can equate tan to all of these, right? Just tan, you can do tan inverse 3, right? So tan inverse 3 will give you 72. Tan inverse 2, tan inverse 2 will give you 63. And tan inverse negative 4 inverse negative 4 will give you approximately negative, where was it? Okay, it will give you negative 76. But we cannot have like negative angles, so what we're going to do is add 180, which is going to give us 104. Simple as that. Number 9. Given that sine theta is equal to 2, cosine theta and 0 is and theta is between 0 and 180, then to the nearest integer theta is, this is really easy, just plug it into the calculator. Sine x is equal to 2 cosine x. You're going to get 63.4, which is the answer. Nothing much, just calculator. Okay, this question came last CA. The answer was negative 15, but I'll explain this again. The function f is defined such that the graph of f of x in the plane xy has x-intercept a0 and y-intercept 0b, where a plus b equals to 4. The function h of x has f of x plus 1 has x-intercept c0. So what they mean here is that they're affecting x by shifting it one left. So a minus 1 is equal to c. And the function g of x is equal to f of x plus 3 is equal to 0d. And here they're affecting y, and they said here the y-intercept is 0b. So b plus 3 is equal to d. And then we just add up and down. So a plus b plus 2 is equal to c plus d. They said a plus b is equal to 4, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, which is ca plus d. Now, time for the last question of today. This question bothered me. Hope it doesn't do the same. Cosine x is equal to negative radical 3 sine x. X is between 0 and 180. X is equal to k degrees. What is the value of k? That For this question, you can also simply put it on the calculator. Cosine x is equal to negative radical 3 sine x, and you're going to get that x is 150. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We wish you guys the best of luck in all of your exams, and goodbye.